So welcome again to everyone who's here and everyone's going to be joining us and even watching this recording. I'm excited about this class tonight and that even more people will be able to share in this beauty that I know Kristina is going to be sharing with us. So my name is Michelle Yasuda, and I'd like to welcome you to the Foundation for Conscious Living's Big Leap Home community. And this call that you're on right now is part of the vision of the foundation. And what the Big Leap Home online programs like this are for is to support individuals, organizations, and communities in generating agency, connection, and creativity on our shared planet. And so I have a few logistics to go over before handing the call over. And so first of all, a reminder that we'd love for you to have a pencil or pen and paper and any art supplies that you might be able to grab, colored pens, crayons, use your imagination. So if you need to go and grab those, please go ahead and do that now. And I'd also like to invite you to join our Big Leap Home Network, which is an online gathering space for the Hendricks community. And in this platform, you can connect with the Hendricks world, hear about the latest events, and you'll find also tools and practices that you can use in your daily life. So I'd love to have you join. I will post the link to that after I'm complete here. Let's see. So lastly, I want to invite you into a commitment. When you listen to these words, notice how they land in your body. We find that learning works best when we choose to bring our curiosity, openness to learning, and appreciation of ourselves and others into the space. That makes me smile every time I read that and hear that. So now it is my great pleasure to be able to share an appreciation for our facilitator tonight. So Kristina, what I notice is every time I'm in your presence or you're in my presence, and I'm so glad that sometimes that's actually been in person, gotten to be in space with you and share space with you, that your groundedness and the mix of groundedness with bubbly joy, like this, like effervescent kind of joy, is always present. That is something that I feel that I get to experience in you, that there's this depth and the effervescence all weaving in and out. And I so appreciate also your genius for sharing the Hendricks work in the world in so many ways that you do that. So I'm going to turn the call over to you with my great love.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. It's so interesting. Just as you said groundedness, I was like, oh yeah, I should ground. That's like, I felt my feet and I was like, oh, okay, I'm here. So thank you. Oh, welcome all of you here in person and all of you who are going to be listening to this recording to Spacious Intentions for Friendly Completions. It's 2 days after the new moon, and it's the evening before summer solstice. So to me, this feels like a wonderfully auspicious time to seed some precious intentions that will sprout and grow as summer expansion moves us. And tonight's going to be a little bit more like a ceremony than a class. So if you have questions that arise, I suggest you write them down on your paper that you brought. As part of your ceremony of creating an intention is revealing to yourself what your questions are. I know a year ago on summer solstice, I set a spacious intention to feed the pollinators by planting perennial flowers in my garden. And this year they're up and blooming. And I had no idea that by this same time this year, that I would be blossoming into a new identity as a podcaster. For on winter solstice last year, I set a spacious intention to choose love, choose revealing, and create healing. And within days of making that intention, I was talking with a friend, shared some journal excerpts with her, and she said, "This is a podcast." And I went, "Oh, choose revealing." It's already happening. Well, I'm delighted and amazed that I've completed 6 episodes of my podcast, Friendly Completions, by June this year. And I just decided to take a break in July, a summer vacation from podcasting, but I'll be back in August. And I'm sharing my life stories, my most tender, illuminating life stories on that podcast. So I'm getting a track record for friendly completions, for setting intentions each month, and by the full moon coming up with a readiness to reveal. And I have a perfectionist persona who can push me really hard to complete things in an immaculate way. And she tends to worry, and she can get in cahoots with my inner critic. And I'm asking myself questions like, am I measuring up? How am I comparing with other podcasters? Am I enough? And in the past, those personas made sure that I had a long list of incompletions that felt overwhelming. And sometimes I even collapsed in self-defeat because I couldn't keep up with the list. So despite my best intentions, I was unconsciously committed to creating unfriendly completions. So I'm really grateful that I've discovered over the years how to set spacious intentions that catalyze and actually make friendly completions much easier to go with and arrive at. And I've discovered that I do that by doing what comes naturally to me, or by doing what Gay Hendricks calls living in my genius. So my intention today is to share how this is possible for you too. And we're going to play with how to create a spacious summer solstice intention, because tomorrow's summer solstice. We're going to breathe easily and follow some openings and have fun generating a friendly completion. So are you willing, this is the big question, to engage and have fun setting a spacious intention that can naturally lead you to a friendly completion? If you are, I want you to show me with your whole body. I see some willingness, a little bit of, and some, yeah, willingness is a whole body thing. So I invite you to step into ceremonial space with us and actually stand up if you're willing, or if you want, you can imagine standing up. But I'd like to invite you to take a walk around your space. Let yourself look away from the camera and make this an intentional walk, whatever intentional feels like to you. Notice, how do you do intentional? As if you're on a path that leads to a very special place in nature. Yeah. And I can already feel the vibration in the Zoom room changing with the power of your intentionality. So we've agreed to meet here in this special place in nature, 2 days after the new moon, on the eve of the summer solstice. And when you arrive at this special place, you can see that we're gathering now in a circle. where you feel at ease. And you're standing or you're sitting comfortably. But your place in the circle is very clear. And here we are, gently breathing together, welcome each other with our whole being. Thank you for coming to co-create spacious intentions together. I'm so glad you're here. It's much more fun to do this with a circle of people than it is alone. So let's begin by wondering together, what is a spacious intention? I gave you one metaphor, a tiny seed that can grow. What else pops to your mind when you think spacious intention? And go ahead and write that down in the chat. What's a spacious intention to you? It's aligned and open, something to live into. A goal that feels flexible as well as focused. I like that combo. When spoken, my body expands. Yes. Allows room for the unexpected to bubble up, open and curious. Oh, you guys already got this. What if the dictionary had that definition of intention, you know? It's embodied. It lives and breathes. Yeah, that's where we're headed together. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a couple of things that came to me about spacious intention. A spacious intention opens the door and invites the future to flow into now. Don't you just want to put your feet in that water? Can you feel the temperature? Yeah. Spacious intentions catalyze my willingness to evolve, to be different. My willingness to be voraciously, chomping my way through everything I can get to help me fulfill my intention, and then hang upside down and wrap myself in a cocoon and dissolve everything I thought I was going to do, and allow that surprise to emerge. And a spacious intention also opens a portal into a friendly completion. When you look into that portal, can you feel how the magnetism of your intention is drawing you through the portal into the future? It's got an energy field that you created, and now it's an energy of its own, and it's moving. And you're moving with it. So when you've got all that going in your spacious intention, what happens is you begin to discover what it means to be in completion. Not at the end, but in the process of completing, even in the beginning with your spacious intention. And somebody brought up the word aligning. I like paying attention to what indigenous peoples all over the planet know, which is to align with natural cycles. Tonight, tomorrow, this whole week, people are celebrating all over the earth because this is a global phenomenon, solstice. They're celebrating this turning point when the energy turns, and they're setting intentions. They have been for thousands of years to move with that energy. So friendly completions also go with the flow of what comes naturally to you, the way that you creatively express your intention is going to be really different than the way I would do it. I can give you some pointers, but you're going to enlighten me by what you come up with, because you've got your own genius at work here. And friendly completions also, even from the very beginning, when you're in the process of completing, they generate awe and wonder and connection. So I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me recently. On my 5th podcast, which was called Life Rewrites the Script, I invited my former husband to come on the show, and I interviewed him. And yes, I was scared. I had the idea and I was like, oh, you're going to do that? And I did it. I invited him on the show, and we had a really great time together, looking at that time in our life when life completely rewrote the script. And what surprised me, what generated awe and wonder, is that since that episode, we've had 3 in-depth phone conversations, taking a really close look at and revealing to each other what was going on for each of us in our sex life 30 years ago that we didn't know how to talk about at the time. Direct result of choosing love, choosing revealing, creating healing, my intention last year. I had no way of knowing that this is how it would manifest. So there's mystery afoot here, and you get to play with it. So, I'm looking at my notes here. Yeah. So now I have a friendly relationship with friendly completions. I take them on walks with me. I carry around colored pens in my purse or in my car, or from my living room into my kitchen. I keep a daily journal where I write down intentions, and on the new moon every month, I write an intention for the whole month. I did this yesterday, a day after the new moon. I choose to nourish and root myself in love. You know, it's like carrying on this same year-long intention, but with more detail each month, with more verbs. So I invite you, if you're ready, to get in touch with your breathing now. And let yourself wonder, what is one thing that you intend to bring to an awesome, friendly completion this year? And by one thing, it could be a relationship struggle, could be a cluttered place in your environment you want to clear out, a creative project you're working on. Just pick one thing. And you don't even have to have the words for it yet, but your body knows the energy of this thing. So I invite you to put it between your hands here, this thing that you want to complete. Just get a feel for its energy field. And then, when you got a feel for that, set it on the earth in front of you. You're in circle with us, and now your intention is in circle with us. And it's got the support of the earth under it. It's got the support of the sky above and of this circle. And you get to bring this intention to a friendly completion in timing that you choose. You choose the timing. So I'm going to share again. There's 3 steps to the Spacious Intention waltz. The first one is to turn fully towards the friendly completion you want, and you've just started to do that. To open a space to play and wonder into it, and we've started to do that. And to breathe easily and follow the openings as they happen. 3 steps. So we're going to look at those 3 steps one at a time. And I invite you to get out your paper if you want at this point, and your colors. Or you can stand up and just get in your body, whatever works for you. I want you to turn fully towards this intention and write down or bodify what it is you want. Let yourself use lots of juicy verbs. And I want to savor this or relish this or expand this. Yeah. Maybe even some new movements that you haven't made, at least not today. And when you're ready, add some sound. Could be sounds without words, or it could be saying out loud, I want to, and then fill in this blank. But let your body vibrate with the sound of this intention. All right, and then we're going to move on to step 2. You don't have to do these steps in order, but we're doing them in order right now. And the second step of this waltz is to open a space. You know, once you've turned towards your partner, you got to get out on the dance floor. You got to open a space to dance. And one of the ways you can do that is by asking yourself wonder questions. What natural cycle spaciously supports this intention? And by natural cycle, I'm going to suggest you choose a cycle of the moon or the sun, because those are universal. So if you choose a week, that's a quarter moon. Or if you choose till the next full moon. Or maybe you choose a season. You know, you want to do this by fall equinox. Or maybe you want to do this by winter solstice. You choose. And write that down. Or put it in your body someplace where you'll remember it. I want to do this by when? The next wonder question is, what opens my body to awe, wonder, and connection? I get little goosebumps even when I ask the question. That scintillating feeling you were talking about, Michelle. Like, what opens my body to awe is going out into my garden and being with the wildflowers. Every time, every day, that does it for me. And so I take my intentions out there every morning to get juiced with that awe. For you, it might be music or tea with a friend. You know, there's any number of ways you can open to awe and wonder. And you might want to jot some of those down. And the third wonder question that opens a space is, when I've reached this friendly completion, how do I want to feel? And I'm going to give you one of my top trade secrets here, which is that question generates two lists for me. One is, how do I want to feel? And the other is, how do they want to feel? So when I was outlining this class, I wrote my list of how I wanted to feel by the end of class. And I also wrote a list of how I thought you wanted to feel by the end of class. And they weren't the same list. So, how do you want to feel? That might be, the person who is going to receive your writing, or who is going to be in this changed relationship with you, or who's going to be the audience at your performance. There's always a you, a context in which you're going to manifest your intention. So make both lists. And I'm going to suggest that you just write a few things down right now on the I want, they want list, and that you come back and really flesh it out tomorrow on Solstice. So the next step is breathe easy. Breathe easy and follow the openings. And I don't know about you, but for me, if somebody says, oh, just breathe easy and follow the openings. And if I'm in a place of feeling scared that I'm not going to complete something, or frustrated that I haven't finished it yet, my resistor persona comes up instantly when somebody says, breathe easy. Just breathe. And I'm like, so I've learned to ask myself, when I have my intention formed, am I seeing this intention or this incompletion as an imposition or as an invitation? So if any part of me sees this as an imposing task, in other words, if I'm running an inner voice that says, oh, this is going to be hard, or this is too complicated, or I'll never finish this on time, I play with saying that out loud with an attitude. In other words, I find the persona who's running that script. This is too hard. Yeah, I'm never gonna finish this. I say it out loud so I can love that persona who's got that attitude. And if that sounds like fun, I'm gonna suggest you're all on mute, that you go ahead and do that right now. If there's any part of this intention that feels like it's going to be hard, go ahead and say that out loud. Or whatever it is you're thinking. And let yourself exaggerate the facial expression that comes with that. Or the body posture that comes with that. Oh yeah, I'm seeing some raised shoulders and tilted necks and back and forthing and jaw tensing and yeah. So now, notice how your body feels and notice how you're breathing right now. Maybe you're not breathing. Are you holding your breath? Get curious. Is your breathing quicker than usual or slower than usual? Is it deep or shallow? Really take a minute to notice this thing that's with you all the time. And I'm going to invite you to do something a little weird sounding, which is choose one thing about how you're breathing right now and magnify it. Make it bigger. Do it more for the next several breaths. And then let that go. And give your attention to your body sensations now. Notice what body sensations are happening. And notice what new space is opening or wanting to open inside you now as you breathe. And bring your attention and breath to that space. It might even be a space around you. And now imagine that right directly in front of you, there's a portal, an open doorway. And if you want to play with an actual doorway, you could get up and find one in your room. Because what I'm going to invite you right now to do is to explore going through that doorway in some new way. Maybe you're going to swim through it or backstroke through it or glide through it. Maybe you're going to hum through it. Or twirl through it. However you're coming through, feel yourself coming through that doorway with ease. You can imagine or play with doing it several times if you want. Just seeing what each new time through the doorway opens up in you. Oh, I could hop. I could pray my way through the doorway. I could sing my way through the doorway. And once again, notice your body sensations. What's happening in your body now that you've opened this doorway into the future? And finally, let yourself go through that imaginary portal one more time. And this time, when you get to the other side, say out loud, I did it. I finished this. I made it through. Or whatever words come to you. Yeah. Give yourself a hug. I see some love scoops happening. Wonderful. So now we have some time to share our discoveries. And we're going to take a few minutes here to share all in a group, and then we're going to go into partners and share with a partner what's bubbling up for you about your spacious intention, your friendly completion. So go ahead and unmute yourselves and feel free to put your voice in the circle. No need to raise a hand. Just speak up if you feel, it's my turn.
So I'm loving this. This is great. Thank you so much. You forget sometimes when you're so busy in your daily tasks that even the solstice is even coming, right? So I think that's just wonderful just to feel that coming into alignment here. So that is beautiful, and you circling that and having us circle with that is just beautiful. And I feel there's some sort of prophetic level to my experiencing all of this with you, because a few days ago I did this art piece, which was a portal in space. And
I love it.
But it's an old gateway, right? It's sort of like a tree forest gateway, right? A tree portal, but it's in outer space. And the idea of this spacious intentions through the portal, how did she do this? How did we just do this connection thing? So I'm just appreciating that so much, because as I was aligning my own intention and you walking this through, and then I suddenly went, oh my gosh, how am I going through this portal? I'm going through it with art. And that's how, and so much of that is tied into what I'm about. So thank you. It feels very completing.
Thank you, Alice. Awesome.
Yeah.
I discovered a verb I wanted in my intention through going through the doorway. So that was really fun. I surprised myself with a pivot through the doorway. Pivoting, that is a verb I really want to play with, because I'm in the process of all this jaw and orthodontistry, and my jaw is literally pivoting and coming forward. And so I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing. That's what I can do. And I can play with that verb and have that be fun rather than the forcing the jaw forward. Yes. So
I like it.
oh, pivoting, it feels so much more, it feels so much easier, than forcing, obviously.
Mm.
And I can't help but jump on the beauty of the portal train, because I made this a couple days before the new moon, which I don't think,
Wow.
but there is a bird coming up through a portal of doorway. So
We are connected.
where? Thank you.
Thank you, Dara. I love watching your head nod, Abby. Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Hi, Lydia.
Hi. So this was lovely. Actually, I found myself being pulled through the doorway and I was actually running there to meet someone on the other side. And that was quite lovely. And smiling broadly, going through the doorway.
I love all those images, running through, being pulled and smiling and meeting someone. Oh, yum.
Thank you.
I appreciate being able to play with the intention. I have an intention that's rather in that serious career, masculine career environment. And I really appreciate this feminine environment to play. And I danced through the door. I felt that inspiration. And I thought, isn't that cool? Because that's not buttoned up me, who I am in that environment. But that's who I need to be to have the conversation leading to the connectedness that I really want, to be seen as who I am. That's the path. That's exactly the path.
Oh, that's
I'm going to share my picture that I just took in Antelope Canyon.
Oh,
and can you see those energy waves? I loved those energy waves. And of course, the Navajo and their spirit world and interconnectedness with spirit world it was just so inspiring. So I'm going to use this picture as my inspiration to step through.
Wonderful.
So thank you.
And the wonderful thing about doorways is, they're in our everyday life. So you can pick a doorway at any time during the day and play with going through it, and you're in touch with your intention again.
I want to share. I found it so powerful to let my body feel what the future me feels like, to expand into that energetically. And I felt this sense of more fullness and openness and yeah, like the going through the door, but also like my body in this present moment can feel energetically and physiologically what that, if I were to make that passage, what that would feel like.
Yeah. So you're already in the completion as you're feeling it.
And there's this saying that, physicists say like time isn't real. So we can touch into future points in the now.
Wow. I want to make space, Michelle or Mary, if you have anything you'd like to share.
I will share. I felt like I could resonate with what Abby said. As I was walking, I went in and out of my door and I played with it a few different times, and I could just feel a rush of energy coming up in my body. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm opening up. And I could feel the yes inside of me, actually, now that I think about it. It was like a bubbling up of a yes. So
Mm.
I really loved using that portal idea, and the timing's really great for me too. So I didn't do any portal art, but I just joined a class that's all about a completion.
Ah.
And so that one of my intentions is to do that. And then I have two that I decided to play with, one longer and one shorter. And I looked up the moon to see for the one date that was already chosen. So that was kind of fun. It's just coming out of the new moon. So I thought, oh, I like that. So thank you. This is very yummy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Mary, you're on mute.
So I cut this out last night, so I guess I'm doing some sort of portal thing too. Didn't know what I was doing. And
Wow.
I found myself stomping through the door, like this resistance. And I just let myself be mad. And then after going in and out, I found myself sort of floating through and being okay with it. I'm okay with it. But yeah, I got to sit down with my resistance and figure out what's going on.
Love it. I love the stomping through the doorway with it. I might use that. Yeah.
I feel like I've been that way all year. Like everything just feels like a fight right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to invite us, as we bring this ceremony to a conclusion now, I'm going to invite us to do something all together. I was thinking we'd go in partners, but I think it's an all together kind of circle thing. So what I invite you to do is to put yourself back on mute and stand up, and you can be, on the screen or off the screen. It's totally up to you. I want you to really be able to feel this completely in your body. So do what you need to do to be able to be present with yourself. And we're going to do three things. One is to move for a minute, that in a way that expresses fully the friendly completion that you want. And then we're going to vocalize for a minute in a way that expresses fully, and then come back and move again. So starting now, moving. And now, vocalizing. It can be sound or words, whatever comes through you for the next minute. And now moving again. And I invite you now to come back to your place into the circle and reach down to the earth where you placed your intention and pick it up. And feel this energy. And notice what's changed. Or is changing even as you are present with it. And if you want, you can share what's changed. Mine is more like, it's more like bread dough that rose.
I love that, Kristina. That's, yeah, mine feels lighter and alive.
I noticed I picked it up like a baby instead of the ball that I put down. It felt more like a medicine ball being put down. And this felt more like I was welcoming it, like it was a baby.
It feels like it's buzzing.
Ooh. Oh, Eliza, I can't hear you. You're talking, but I can't hear you. Or Eliza.
So I think
Alex?
yeah, I think she's talking to somebody else.
Okay.
I was holding it out here, like it's like as far like and I noticed when I picked it up, it was like here, it was like I was holding it on my heart. Like my hands had opened and churned already. Like, ooh, that's interesting. Great question.
Lydia?
Mine was more from a non-belief. It was more of a feeling from non-belief to possibility and belief.
Yum.
Mine got a lot more substance to it. I didn't really have, like, felt like I even really had anything to begin with. And if I did, it was more like a rigid sphere, empty. It was just not really much of anything. And when I picked it up this time, it's more like not goop, but you know, it's just like very moldy and molten, and it had a color, like a golden color, whereas the other ones just didn't really have any color of substance to it.
Wow. Wow. I got to tell you, I set an intention for the completion of this episode, and it was to have goosebumps, and I've got goosebumps. So
somebody shot out fireworks for us over here.
Anybody else? Well, the time has come now to carry your intention with you. And I'm going to invite you to walk out of the circle in the same way you came in. Bring this intention and walk around your space with it. You might want to show it to some things in your space, or just see what you want to do with it in your space. Mm. Mm. I am so grateful and amazed by how spacious this ceremony has been. I've been able to, spontaneously include things that came to me in the moment. I didn't think I had time for, and we still have time left. I'm like, who's at play here? So we have time. We have a couple minutes to put some words of blessing into the circle. And my suggestion is that the blessing be for your own life and for other people's life.
I'll go. I'm just imagining sending this warm energy ray towards everybody's seat of intention, kind of like this waterfall of sunlight to fall over all the intentions and sending it in this circle. And I just want to appreciate, because I think the intention is more powerful through the witnessing of everybody else for it to come into fruition. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. And then anyone else want to put in just a single word? Serendipity.
Peaceful.
Joy.
Love.
Ancestors.
Renewal.
Healing. Thank you. That's our time.
Kristina, thank you so very much for this beautiful class, this ceremony, this time together. Oh, I can feel everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please unmute if you want to say goodbye. Feel free.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristina.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Kristina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kristina.
Kristina, thank you.
You're welcome. I just popped a couple links in the chat if you want to connect some more.